waiting here. I think you might be right. He's just looking time. There we go. There's a reason for it too. One elim looking for the sec swap and falling down. I believe I heard it.
He riffed it. He did. It doesn't get much easier than that. The player with 17 HP gets cut down, and Dubs will go follow this up right away. Look for any materials possible. This baller trying to, there you go. Now Dubs has made it on it and says, no, this is mine. This is mine, and whoa, 3 big shields, 6 minis. Oh, gosh.
That's a yikes.
Okay, Dubs, not a fun time right now. Remember, when you're in the shadow form, you cannot edit, you cannot make any plays like that. So Dubs gets trapped in there and takes 80 storm damage because of it.
Very fast edits on the tunnel there, moving forward. Basically not letting go of the sprint the entire time. Look at these, walling and editing a corner out every single layer, burning through materials very quickly, but dude, a very stable base to make a move.
It just set in how insane the Battle of Regions is going to be at the Fortnite World Cup. Like, Mongrel, Mr. Savage M are going to be repping EU that I know all of Europe's going to get behind. You've got the likes of Dubs, Tfue representing NA. I mean, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
The best players from every region.
Yeah.
Making their way to one stage. I'm gonna have heart palpitations, Jack.
Bro, it's gonna be one of the most insane events of all time. There's just no doubt in my mind about that. Bez loves Shane being pressured now by Dubs. Dubs did get a solid shot down range. Cool. Unfortunately, shotgun not reloaded, so we'll have to take a moment there to let that weapon reset. As now the zone going back the way it just came, so.
Less than 50 builds now. Dubs, 70 HP, has a chance, just kidding, 100 HP. A little misspeak there, 11 players left. Freak Twinkie goes down, shots from above, another player. Title shot found outside of a window, looking through for a peek, potentially, doesn't quite get it. Shots in the back instead, a big trade out there. The legendary combat shotgun.
Oh, this movement is just forward. Dirty.
Looking for the shot, doesn't quite go for it. No chance just yet. Mustache from Tempo. In the feed, picking up another elim. We're in the top 8 now. Dubs, quick edit. Takes out the top half, looking for shots through. A reset and rotation. Dubs, so fast. So blindingly fast.
Yep.
You want to try and keep up with anybody.
Stinks from height again.
This is literally like you're setting the tempo right here.
Mm-hmm. Should have enough time to pop this big shield. Thankfully, the stink grenade bombardment has stopped. Remember, top 5 is the last placement points outside of winning the game, and just like that, Dubs has made it on into the top 5. Now up to 28 points. Still building out. Turret comes into play for that extra health on the build so it doesn't get shot down. And oh no, the build he was going to land on gets shot out. Trying to put pressure on, gets one. How about a second? Not going to happen. Baldy wins that fight. The challenge comes in from the high ground. Baldy so weak. How will he make this pop? How will he make this happen? Baldy spraying frantically, trying to get this player to fall on down. 4 HP. There's no way, right? I mean, there's no way, right?
There's always a way, Jack. Don't count him out just yet.
Baldy, 1 tick of the storm ends this game. The player was building with metal, and
there it is.
That's it right there.
John holds the high ground, the last second victory royale. He was one of the first players we jumped on board with in this game.
Lock it up.
Locking it up.
Yeah.
Sitting on the top of the hill and ends up paying off big.
Oh, yeah. Nice job there by John. Oh, shout out to Baldy, though. A good little performance at the end. Did what he could.
That last second drop, though. It literally, he had it all up until that moment. Ton of fall damage in the drop-in. Could not quite find an elimination outside the storm.
Okay.
We're going backwards through a basketball.
Wow, that's fancy. Whoa. I just got the chills. There you go, production. It's my cue. As we head into our next game, 51 players in this lobby when we hop on in.
The northeast side of Mega Mall, 50-50 zone, and there's enough players left alive right now that Storm Surge is going to be an issue. Not for AJ, though. 320 damage above. Sees a player through that pyramid edit. Looks like they're going for the replace. He's just going to hold the turbo build above. Drops in, tries to catch him off guard. Not fast enough. The first time is fast enough. The second time, Mawax goes down to the trap. AJ inside his own box. Well played there. 2 slurps, 6 minis.
Shields for days, movement for days, mats for days. AJ, these are the games that when you're set up, you're in your head, you're like, I need to make this a big one. I've got everything I need.
Have to.
And there's no other way to put it. These are games that will either go the way you need them to go and be the things that push you towards being able to qualify, or don't go the way you want them to go and legitimately tilt you for the rest of your day playing. Whoa. Speaking of tilt, phase tilt now on your screen. It's pretty good, right? Okay, Ben, Jesus. Did you take your meds yet?
Is that a good enough laugh? Do you feel validated now, Jack?
I do feel validated now. Thank you.
Okay.
It makes a difference.
I'm out here for you, Jack.
I know.
100
being popped.
50 now. No elims yet this game. 28 points. No in the feed. Picking up Zine. 90 builds right now. And the ultimate weapon, the gray tactical shotgun in the inventory. Got to feel good about that one, right, Jack?
Oh.
100% agree.
You said it's the best gun in the game, right?
It is the best, arguably, unequivocally, the best weapon. Tilt, pick it up. Elam on Smoke Gabe there. Quick window edit resets, very common here. Position like this, you're basically smack dab, middle of the safe zone. I don't know for sure if Tilt has any mobility besides the shadow bomb, so I would expect a door edit and push soon once he feels like there's too much on the line, if he's too close to the storm, but we'll see. Maybe a launch pad.
Yeah.
If he's gonna use it, it's gotta be soon. You don't wanna wait too long with that.
This is when we're just like hoping someone like rips you to the sky out of nowhere or places a launch pad right next to you to let you have some sort of free movement.
Niddle in the middle of your screen for just a second. One of the common high placement players in solos.
He's already qualified.
Exactly.
And yesterday finished atop our leaderboard, right? His tilt right now is actually below the damage threshold for the Storm Surge. And typically when Storm Surge pops up, it forces some people to play like maniacs. You got to do something crazy to make sure you don't take this damage. Tilt running on through, still 43 below, has to be going to put damage down range. There's a nice little tag. Now above, good stuff from him. As more players have started to drop, is safe for the moment using both shadow bombs, Ben.
Okay.
Here on this rotation, and you know, you might be like, well, if that's all his movement, then I mean, isn't that bad? But you think about it. Right now, you're at 34, top 34. You want those placement points.
100%.
You've spent a lot of time in this game. You've got one elimination, and right now you're probably, what, every bit of 15 minutes, 17 minutes into this game? If you don't get placement points out of this, if you don't get at least 5 to 7 points off this one, it could really come back to haunt you as this day goes on. Tilt gets one, now 4 spots away from being in the top 25. Remember, 3 points earned if you make it there.
Okay, now 3 players need to go down before we look at the placement. Very top of the zone, Corey. Rogue Shark vying for high ground. Looks like Shark gets the ultimate high with ease and does place a trap down just in case anybody tries to challenge. Land on the same box. Opportunity to just take some shots. Looking up here. Back-to-back combat shots on that player. You can hear a ball underneath. I think Shark trying to be as cognizant of that as possible. There it is. Placement points going out for everybody. Shots on every player on the rotation in. If Shark can land even 1 or 2 solid hits, the combat shotgun, we've seen it be very lethal. Ranges like this, 18 points right now, and here we go, beaming player on the drop-in. A lot of shield damage, finds Frosted Spy in the air. No fall damage taken, 190 total now. Another player, back-to-back. The Vera goes down. Shark pick it up, the 4th elimination. Almost to the top 15, and playing this very, very is materials are going to start getting low soon, especially if you're forced to double up on layers.
When you're already having to build out from height that early on. You already mentioned it, 46 total builds left. How can Rogue Shark use them wisely? 15 players now remaining, so 2 more placement points earned for everyone that's still live in this lobby. Players continue to drop on out quick. Rogue Shark showing off just how good the combat shotgun is, whether players are flying from up above or running frantically down low. With that rift pulling up, I think it was 2 players. You think Rogue Shark's going to begin to peek on up and try to make sure no one can land on him. But I think they just...
There we go, 1 flying in.
1.
Jaith eliminated. Top 10. AJ does, however, take the high ground. Honestly, it looked like with ease, just getting the flint knock to ascend all the way to the top, challenging.
Oh my gosh.
A build off.
What a shot. They're going for height right now between the 2 of them. Rogue Shark down to just 21 total builds. Has to reload this flint knock and has to go for the play of his career. Knocks the 1 player down to the box. Shotgun comes through. Tyler's was not ready for that to happen, and Rogue Shark is rewarded by a ton of builds, but it's still AJ up top.
Shark for sure has the ability to drop down that Flintknock could save him. You're concerned about what's in his inventory.
He went for it!
He went for
Rogue
it.
Shark! Flintknocks to the high ground, knocks out AJ's build, and replaces it. He's got to reload this. Flintknock, quick, drop it down! Did make it as well. Rogue Shark showing off how good the Flintknock pistol is. One of the most versatile weapons in Fortnite Battle Royale history. We're now in our top 4. Rogue Shark continuing to be a hero from this high ground.
Literally just plugging.
There goes
above,
2
Noah
more.
Goes down. It's a 1v1. Nightseeker on the ultimate low ground, 29 builds, some bandages if it comes to a heal off, which means Shark's gonna have to apply pressure, plus an RPG.
That's CG. That's
Nightseeker
CG.
taking in the outside of the storm. Unless there's a chance at a shot, there isn't. Nightseeker goes down. Shark, the Flintknock, earns the high ground multiple times and the victory royale.
Incredible stuff right there from Rogue Shark. A 9 elimination win. 19 points. Seeking Sundown.
19 points at this stage in the game. My goodness, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the game. Luckily, we'll be seeing him in New York City. Rogue Shark has already got that qualification up there. But let's take a quick look at some of the other players who have already qualified and one player who's putting on a little bit of a show and might be able to put himself in contention. So first, we're going to hop on board with the veteran Vivid. And as Golden Boy says, when in doubt, throw a grenade or 17. Vivid throwing every one of the explodes there. Picks up a nice little elim, and that actually gives him positioning to then start running on the mid-tart. Picks up Navy Rob there, and then continues rotating forward, doing all this now with the combat that he was able to pick up there. And notice in the top left-hand corner, this is outside the top 25. We watched him pick up 3 elims, survive into the top 25, and then enable himself to get more. Challenging into the stink, knowing he would get that siphon. Now, clicks on board here, was at 10 HP, gets a shadow. What does he do with it? He's then able to translate that into a boogie, drops the player out, and then all of a sudden, he gets another shadow. This is what we mean when we talk about how every little interaction counts. If Clicks doesn't pick up the elim at 10 HP, doesn't get the shadow to enable him to get the boogie bombs, which doesn't let him pick up the next 2 elims, which gives him more shadows and gives him high ground control. And look here how he extends out the timer on the shadow bomb. He's in shadow form the whole time, is able to get into the player's box, picks up Nut, who is on the top 10 of the leaderboard right now. So it's not like he's just cleaning out the bottom of the barrel. These are other players competing for a spot in Clicks. I remember originally watching him in the Lux Cup and thinking, wow, this kid Clicks on YouTube. He's pretty good. I hope we get to see more of him. Well, we're going to be seeing more, particularly if he's closing out games like that. Nico, the only player in this little package who isn't already qualified for the World Cup, but goes on a great little spree here. 150 in terms of his builds, and that's going to enable him to kind of navigate this super, super tightly packed tarp. You saw 25 players there in Circle 8. Circle 9, still 13 players left. He still has 97 builds. That's because his mentality is he's looking for the elims, picks up a number of jump pads, and refreshes on builds again. So keep an eye on the top left. 7 players left now, and he challenges into the high ground. All of a sudden, he picks up this elim here, knocks the player out with the storm changeover, and top 5, ultimate high ground control, and nothing else. Showtang picks up the 2 on the bottom, but Nico is just going to be able to wait him out, doesn't get a tag going over there, so the storm will tick him over. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a highlight reel if we didn't show Dubs. Taker of walls, best average placement in a Sunday final, as Courage said, with a 6th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd coming out there, averaging 3rd place overall in what is one of the most stacked regions. You see him just take the wall right away from Yoshi and continue running through the tarp, always looking for opportunities, looking to challenge, wanting to take the shots, and pressuring the rest of the lobby. Hey, you want to win the Fortnite World Cup, you have to be beating players like this. You have to beat the Dubses, the Clicks, the Vivids of the world in order to get up there. And right now, Clicks is flexing, saying, yeah, I'm in 1st place. What of it?
Man, after 6 games, 2 victory royales, one of only 2 people in top 10 with the 2, he's got himself that. It is top 6, so making their way into finals, so this is the cutoff point right here. But if we look outside of the Clicks' lead, right, 42 to 38, again, these points are still really, really close.
Like I said, it's the difference, 26th to 25th, popping a shadow bomb, waiting a half second before you rotate. Literally.
Oh, actually, you know what I just thought about? This already qualified.
Yep,
You were going to say...
bump one more down. It's all good.
Yeah, so
no worries, because at
there
this
you go.
point, really, like the one little spot with all of these guys here, as soon as one more match changes over, this whole thing is going to change. The leaderboard is so absurdly close. These are the moments that matter. This is where you will be able to cement yourself as one of the best of the best. And if you don't do it now, you won't be on that stage in New York City competing for your piece of the $30 million prize pool.
Too bad we cannot compete for that prize pool, but oh well. Only the future could tell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fam, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We are going to go to a break, so get up, stretch your legs, find a snack, use the bathroom. But don't get too far, because in 5 minutes, we've got more action. Don't get too far. See you then. Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right? June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right? Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there, because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we are going to talk about shadow bombs and their impact on competitive play. If you haven't had a chance to use the shadow bomb yet, it is a utility consumable that drops in stacks of 2, and you can carry up to 6 per slot. When used, the shadow bomb grants the user invisibility, move speed, the ability to double jump, and the ability to wall jump. Shadow form lasts for 6 seconds, but will remain active after that window until the user touches their feet on the ground. We've seen shadow bombs already have a huge impact on some of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers.
Can he hit it? Oh my gosh! He hits it! You freaking legend! Are you kidding me?
Now, let's hear what some of the players who have already qualified for the Fortnite World Cup final think of the addition of shadow bombs to competitive play.
I think with Season 9, the shadow bombs are a perfect mobility that has its downsides and upsides if you use it right.
I mean, I think shadow bombs are very balanced right now. They're a really good way of getting mobility considering they're an uncommon item.
So I feel like they're a really good addition to the game. It's as good as a Rift to Go, maybe even better in my opinion. You can get your position wherever you want to, especially end zone. People don't expect it.
A little bit of HP left. You're gonna pull it!
It's a must carry. You know, when that zone pops and you're super far, you can pop a shadow bomb and just get to the next zone. It's great. I love them.
Shadow bombs are amazing. Like, I reckon that's like one of the best things they've brought out so far, because you could just sneak into someone's box or like get high ground or like go low ground without taking damage.
There's moments where people clutch up, like very end game, like they might not have mats. And the Mr. Savage play where there's a hill and you went up it with the shadow bomb, it was just crazy.
They've got to go up the side of a mountain, and it's shadow bomb time. He's deciding to take storm damage. Yes. Mr. Savage! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! What a play! The best shadow bomb use I've ever seen. Mr. Savage M rising to the top of the mountain.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. What's the best way you've used a shadow bomb? Send us clips using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Or maybe not, if you're in shadow form.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. Week 9, the solos action has been fantastic through and through so far. We've covered Europe. We're midway through NA East. And I know you don't want to see me. You want to get back into the action. So guess what? We've got two great casters for you, Sundown and Monster D-Face.
Let's get it. Here with my boy Sundown, and man, that leaderboard shaking up. Good to see Macwood up there. We saw him get really close week again, and like you said, though, anything is in the air.
Dude, it's so incredibly close. We've seen the semifinals, everybody kind of crunching up there, but let's get right on into the matches. I want to see how this all resolves and who gets those last 6 solo spots out of NA East. The action has been intense. The leaderboard is close. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Let us know who you think will make it out, because the leaderboard is changing every time a match finishes. And now we're on board here with Spook. 49 players left, so just under half the lobby.
Yeah, the only player we've seen really take a lead today is Andretta. Outside of Andretta, no one else. The boards have been extremely close, top to bottom here. So now hopping in with Spook, guys. 50 minutes left to queue up here. We're midway through it. Halfway through all the queue times and the games we'll be seeing here for the NA's block. It's going to be a close one.
It's going to be close. I mean, every single region has come down to some form of last match, whether it's a player overtake, get the victory royale, everything he needed on the final match of the server. There's Spook picking up ramen there, no 99-cent deal. Back to the lobby, you can queue back up. Like we said, just under an hour left in the queue times. You get 3 hours or 10 matches to score as many points as possible, and this lobby is stacked. Outlet, Diggy, Macwood, all directly on top of each other right now. Macwood getting some pressure onto that cone, but not finding anything after the heavy snipe.
Yeah, nice angles right here, just playing with the perspective that he has. He drops a player there with the heavy sniper. No fall damage was given, though, which means that player slid on down safe and sound through the side of the mountain here. So Macwood is back in the hunt, just looking around on the prowl right now. And so far, so good. 46 players remain in the 6-man, or Storm Wave 6 is approaching here, I should say. Tons of players. That means no placement points have been given out, and these players have put close to 15, 18 minutes or so of time into this game right here. Yeah, so if you get knocked out before the placement threshold, that's going to be rough to kind of swallow in here.
It's all about time efficiency. You see Roat taking over the Storm there. That is part of those new changes with patch 9.20. If somebody has been tagged in the past 60 seconds and they either self-eliminate, fall to the Storm, or fall to fall damage, you will get the Elam credit. Now you can see Macwood trying to get onto the edge of the zone, as we do have to rotate across the lagoon, so it could get awkward. You have Wrigley, who's in the second spot, the player who has been very much so coming up through these open matches recently. You see Percently also picking up an Elam there. Storm threshold on your right-hand side. Macwood is 402 above it. What the Storm Surge does, since a little bit of a different mechanic, if players are being too passive, as Macwood not passive at all, going for the no-scope Blainer of the year, misses it there. If players are too passive and haven't done damage, the Storm Surge will punish you, doing 10 damage per tick as that goes off until you either are above the threshold or you're eliminated. Just like that, Strep picks up Macwood. No antibiotics for you there, but a nice Elam in point going over to Strep.
Yeah, and this is it right here. I don't think we've seen as many ballers throughout the day, but my gosh, there are so many still in play. That's a big reason why there's so many players still alive right now, guys. The vehicles are out. Nice double shot with the combat right there. Strep connecting big time here. Someone comes out the Storm. Kuros gets flicked on and taken out of the game. Back to the lobby he goes. And Strep finds himself at 29 points. Can he make it 30? That's 2 big shots. Up and over the top he goes. He still wants this one, but no, gets taken out by CWV. Saw FaZe Diggy there as well in the feed. There's a lot going on here, Sundown.
Good job there from CWV, but Outlet is running that high ground down now, but took a ton of damage. There's actually a player directly above him who just lasered him. That was 150-0 in the blink of an eye. Now you have Neferux of Luminosity Gaming. We're inside the top 25%. Still up. Demo still up. Neferux still up as well. Outlet just got beamed. Neferux is going to edit out pop the shadow and get over to the far side. Will need to about face as he does get blocked into the player's build, opting to go around it and build just over. Nice little ramp for the separation. Fox picks up Vape Jesus, so he's going to go down. You see defensive traps put in place by the player next to Neferux. Tech gets K's, and we're getting closer and closer to top 15. Fox is now out. Double edit, and he got it. Demo's in.
Oh, he gets both of them. Shaz and Demo go right down. The combat, the fire rate.
And it gets him into the top 15, and it gives him a shadow bomb. That is a massive 4-point swing and could potentially end up being more for Neferux.
He had 0 materials as well. This really puts him back in the game here, guys. It was all looking so grim as Neferux is now looking to find tendons. Will he be able to connect here? He's got the traps out. He finds someone down in the water. He could still commit here, and he does. Tendons goes down. He doesn't have any shield, though.
Good job sticking with that. Saw that Tendons was over the side. Got his Elam kind of poached away from him there, but manages to stay with it. Saw where the tracer fire was and identified the player. Now on 31 points. 7 players remaining. Wrigley, who we just saw, was in that top 3, directly above him. You have Lyrison, 2 above him. As Sicko does pick up B-Hegs, and Neferux looks for the double edit. He has no more mats, so nothing doing with the launch pad. Will he find another sick double from Neferux? Can he make it a triple? He's looking. He needs to get back in the storm zone. He does. Shots coming out. Shots from the player above. Double edit. Loses it. Wrigley picks it up, but can Wrigley find the zone? He did get the siphon. He needs to circle back around, and he found it, but there's tons of natural building here. Spook, everything is for him. Has 6 builds, not a ton going on here, but has the high ground, and everyone moving over. HP advantage was to him. Wrigley caught every one of those pellets with his face, but a good individual effort pushes Spook up to 34 points. 70 limbs, victory royale.
Solid game for Spook right there, picking up a 17-point game. That's how fast you can go from the teens right up into the 30-point bracket, putting you in contention for top 5, making your way to New York City Finals. But man, Neferux, he had a crazy play there with the double edit down. I thought it was all over for a second there, but off to the next one here, guys.
Always
Pleasant Park. Little action right here, Sundown.
Always on to the next one there. 45 minutes left in the queue. And remember, last time we checked out on the leaderboard, 38th was 2nd place. Clicks was in 1st, but had already previously qualified. 10th was 33rd. Donnie JJ was up on that list. He's currently sitting there in 37th. Has the rare heavy AR as well as the rare tac, single shadow bomb, and 3 minis with 199 effective HP. So not in a bad spot, particularly as he picks up Z-Laner there, going to try and push in and get whatever loot from that he can.
Yeah, it was a nice little pick right there, but little hiccup right there as we kind of catch up here. He is going for the loot. It's going to be risky. He steps right next to Parallel Tree's box. Cannot step into those walls. That was clearly a mistake there.
And he got him with the flint. And one thing you notice there, as Trey poked out, it kind of messed him up because the flint pushed him into the corner of the box. He missed his first shot because of that. Might have been able to win the trade, but wasn't enough. Get gonna save you from clicks as he pushes in with that epic combat shotgun. Pops his last Shadow Bomb and is going to get moving over onto the far side of the zone.
Love what he's doing too. He's got so much material. He's playing for higher elevation right here. But with this many players alive, no layer is safe, especially not the lowest. In comes the drum gun pressure right there. Does see a player. The campfire decides, hey, he's still got shield. Focuses on the next person. This is the problem with having a drum gun. Notice that was a little sloppy.
I was about
players
to say,
are so exposed.
And also that first bloom shot, man, that was rough. He literally had the guy painted. Scenes of the cartoons, we hit everything but him, and right there, Shababan hits everything, including you. Trap shotgun right there. You have Exulting just below. Clicks the controller player. Duo of Excels trying to put some pressure on him, but just gonna seen him on the leaderboards time and time again. Symphony also in his own box, but Bizzle is gonna smell him out there and send him back to the lobby. Well done from the week 1 qualifier, and the Ghost General, the highest earning Fortnite player in competitive history right now, is trying to make his mark on this lobby, sitting at 30 points, already qualified 2 boogies, heavy sniper, and the legendary combat.
Yep, and this is exactly where he likes to be, that end game. A little more placement threshold being broken into right there. Nice little edit, catches a clean elim on Nicole, who had the storm pressure. You notice that did crumble just a bit there.
And he's into the top 15 as well. Right, the player right on the side is looking for it. Slem was actually the one to pick that up. So Bizzle going to continue going forward. And this is where he loves to fight. I know Bala has been a big talk about it, but how good the Ghost guys are at tunneling and fighting from their tunnel, whether it's Sean or Bizzle or Demo or Snood, every single one of them can fight from these angles, and Bizzle trying to do it. No. But the ramp in his face, Boogie Bobs, Disco out in the open. Leo being the benefactor of that one. Kydra, honestly, just, I don't know if it was luck, benefactor, right time, right place, but Bizzle gets set back. Grandma, however, picks up Leo right after, so we're on board with Shaded Talent on the ultimate low ground as Grandma picks up another one.
Yep, Grandma is in this game. You see him popping off in the feed. Shaded trying to get up higher. The higher he goes, the closer he gets to Grandma. Will he be able to connect right here? Does land a shot. It's Click who goes down. Beautiful trap, too. You put it on the ceiling. It's undodgeable, essentially. And that was how he caught Clicks off guard right there. Shaded Talent, now one step closer to the high ground. He's going to step out into the storm and sacrifice just a bit more to get nice and secure set up in the top here.
And then he has the stinks to be able to rain him down. I don't know if you realize he's completely uncontested, but now AJ is forced right out in the storm, and with the tick over from the storm change, he's gonna get it. He'd get it either way, but Shaded smelt it, he dealt it, and everyone else in the lobby had to deal with it. 4 elims and the victory royale, bumping him up to 33 points.
You would think we'd see more end games like that, where the stinks just flush out everyone in the low ground, but to hold on to something so valuable to the end, that's a tough play.
Dude, how rarely are you like getting into a top 3 situation where you have uncontested high ground and you have 2 stinks? Like, the reason that doesn't typically end up happening, you don't see that more often. You think like, oh, that's the best use case for a stink. Yes, if you get into that situation.
You got to make it there, and then like you got to hold on to him. So.
Right. But whereas if you, and we've talked about this, I know Courage is a big advocate, if you have 3 stinks in a solo and somebody's boxed up, you can effectively eliminate them, right? You can chase them around or at least force them to burn a ton of materials. So that's why you tend to see players opt to use them, because you can get kind of tags on players. Oh, Yak trying to go for the immediate wall replace, but you can see how there's a little bit of an issue when you get exposed. If the other player goes to shoot first, you know, they get that first shot on you as that happens right there. And Yak trades it back out with Bizbo. You can take the wall and own it all you want, but if you don't hit the shots, it doesn't matter.
That was 2 125s. Precision aim right there. Yak finds himself a ton of loot, materials, zone. He's got so much going for him now.
It was actually kind of a misplay by the other player. I think it was Bizbo. When you're kind of poking there, you need to shoot, and right as you shoot, move your character model over to the left. He just sat his character model in the window, basically framed his face to catch those pellets. Make sure you're abusing that right-hand advantage. If you have it, you can't give it up, or you can't have it and then not use it. Otherwise, you don't have an advantage. But now, the other half of the Dubs Mega pairing trying to push in here, has full qualified already for the solos and duos, and is now trying to put a little pressure on this player on the outside.
One step closer, he did take the wall. He doesn't even know it was his cone too. Did try to combat and Flint follow up Frosted. It was just too fast. Mega was just too fast for him to react. He was one step ahead of him every single moment, in every single moment of that battle right there.
Man, it must feel awful to just get victimized by Mega and
I would be
Dubs.
so upset to go against one of these guys. They're too quick. Literally too quick.
Just very, and we talk about like what makes some of these players good. In some circumstances, they do everything right. Sometimes they're just very good and they're fast. Like that would be what I say kind of Mega, Dubs, Benji, Fishy, Mr. Savage. Well, they all have like certain types of traits about them and certain things they do well. Yes, they're all incredibly fast-paced players with everything they do. And in and of themselves, that's almost their defining trait. The quickness at which they do everything. Beating somebody in Fortnite to the punch by a quarter of a second is enough for a shot. If you're doing that every single time, you're getting their wall every single time because you're that much faster, then you're going to be able to snowball those advantages, compound them into something better. That's why the best of the best are so consistent.
As we focus in on Mega here, let's see what he's gonna do. We have praised him enough on how quick he is. He's at 14 eliminations. If you don't believe us by now, you're crazy. You don't get that high, that aggressive in finals. Guys, mind you, this is everything on the line for New York City, right? Potentially. And he just pushes through. Just goes all the way through, no hesitation. That's one. Someone else does join the battle here. Finds him as well. Quick little flick right there.
That was just gross.
16 elims.
He hit the flint knock headshot. I was honestly like, I half thought he was going to push in for the pickaxe. The flint knock will do the 180 if you get that full headshot there, but instead sticks with the combat and then picks up the nice little double. But now it needs to be careful of the 6. Good job getting up 2 blocks, and then luckily, as he pops the shadow, the shots miss towards the door. So, you know, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Mega catching it right there is going to put down the campfire as well as the 2 minis. If you blinked, you might have missed it, but he's now in the center of his zone, boxed up, campfire one side, launch pad in the zone next to him, and now reloading all of his weapons, ready for the next rush.
Yeah, he did manage to drop the flint and pick up a grenade launcher. Interesting to see how that's going to play out here in this end game, because it's not typical you see someone have a grenade launcher towards these congested zones. But this is the perfect time to use all these shadow bombs, guys. Just keep him in the game and rotating. He is on someone's heels right here. He was really trying to get that elim right there, chasing him all the way up.
And one thing that's super important to note there, notice how he didn't jump or double jump or wasn't sprinting. He was literally walking directly behind the player. Any of those other movement options would have given away, and the player would have known, would have had an opportunity to box him in, potentially trap him out. That's what we talk about when we say do all of the little things right. You might not think about it. You might think, oh, I get the double jump, I better use it. No, players adapt. They've gotten used to it. They know to look for the smoke trails, to just throw bullets towards it and to hope to get it. But Mega going one step farther, and he still has 2 more, enabling him so much. And here go the grenades. Will we see Mr. Savage 2.0, who is the best billiard player in NA? He fires all of them down low, and no ticks coming through yet.
But the pressure of the explodes, the sounds, it's as much of a mind game as it is the whole site just to kind of connect here. So let's see what Mega's gonna do. He's looking for the elims down low. He doesn't care about who's up above. He's trying to inch his way down here. Just taking a little bit more control of this layer. He doesn't have any movement, any freedom space here. He's gonna find Dream TV.
Wait. That was a grenade tag. It had to have been. He hasn't shot anybody else in the last minute. So he had to have hit somebody with a grenade, gets flint knocked out into the zone there. But can he cover himself? 7 HP. Oh! Mega drops down. Winteroo, you can go back. It's the time of summer, and it's the time of FaZe. Mega, what a sick edit and sick play. Now up to 107 effective HP. Papa Eggy on the high ground. Hoffner gets personally victimized by Mega, like basically the rest of the entire lobby, up to 19 elims. But now on the low ground, Shadow Bomb comes out from Eggy. Hot feet for Mega, hot feet for Eggy, but he's in the shadow, and Mega finds him. He finds him because he jumped, monster.
I don't know how he just did that, but he managed to really pull through and clutch up at the end. That was as close as we've ever seen it, and that was a 20 elimination game there.
30 points. 30 points for Mega. We saw him at 7 HP. Again, I cannot stress it enough. If you're watching and you want to get better at Fortnite,
Imagine dropping a 20 bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Imagine dropping a 20 bomb in any game. Like, I think I've had a 20 bomb once, maybe, in a pub, I think, and I felt really, really, really happy. He's doing it in the finals against the best of the world. If you want to go watch these games, watch their perspectives, you can load it up in the client yourself. You can go to the leaderboard, set the region. Right now, we're on NA East. Then you can click the compete tab at the top, load up week 9, and check out all of the individual greatness. Whether you want to be watching Tfue or Dubs or Mega or any of the other solo players who have already qualified, I promise you, they will all put on a show as we get into the final half hour of the queues. And already Chap, Tilpil, Snood, all up over on this side. Clicks in the match as well. Right as I said that, Tilpil gets taken out by, honestly, the Demon Hunter right now. That's what Clicks feels like. He's just running around cleaning up everyone.
Dude, Clicks is fearless right now. He's he has nothing to lose at this point. This is all good practice for the Fortnite World Cup. This Chap is now putting pressure on players that are gliding across, and what a death valley here. You do not want to have to cross this. You think, oh, I have a launch pad, I'm okay. No way, not when players have this much elevation kind of set up. This poor guy's probably going to use redeploy. He uses the flint knock actually trying to save himself there. He's still in the game.
Was able to catch himself right there at the bottom. You see Kearney also here. Chap trying to get an angle on the rest of the lobby. Again, the Liquid and join Vivid on that stage in New York City. We have EG's J-Truth also in the lobby. Nobu Beef, it does get picked up. Bears also going down. 33 players remaining. Circle 6, and also a ton of verticality changes going on the circle. Look at the bottom right monster.
Yeah, it's going straight across another valley towards the tilted, or neo-tilted mountain. You guys are very familiar with this mountain. It's been in the game for a while here. So to have to cross back, another steep elevation coming from the shifty side.
Yeah, that old clock tower mountain gives a really, really good kind of vantage point over the rest of Tilted, but it's really awkward to kind of end up fighting around and rotating over because it's such a steep valley into then this kind of like gradual hill that drops off right after. So we'll see some interesting rotations coming out, but now on board here with Joy with that tactical assault rifle, trying to throw some shots over. You do see Storm Surge over on your right-hand side. Only one more player has to fall before that turns off, and the rotation is coming through. So Joy is going to be looking for those gatekeeping opportunities. You see him checking the angles as Shiga picks up Senseful. Temp gets picked up by Joy. He's going to be like, all right, got my Elim, I'm out. Waiting for the opportunity to then rotate over and away. The question is, how long can he extend out the Shadow Bomb? Not long enough, gonna opt to use the second one. Does get the tick over in the Storm as well onto Shiga, so good job from him.
Look at this.
And now all the way far side of the zone.
Manages to really just hop his way up and over all the builds. Perfect usage of the Shadow Bombs here. He hasn't even reloaded the Tactor. He's already on the offensive push here. Another player did rotate by. He's kind of getting his eyes set on who's gonna be his next victim. Went from 1 eliminations to 3. Will this be the 4th? And it is going to be the 4th. Let's have fun, okay? We saw him a bunch yesterday, ending in the top 10. I think he finished about 6.
But doesn't look like he's having as much fun, okay, today, as J-Truth picks up another Elim. Grandma goes down outside of the top 15. Sizlucky also down, another player who qualified for duos, looking for a solo qualification. You have Snood, the second best average Sunday finisher in the entire world, but hasn't managed to get a qualification spot. 2 9th place finishes for him. Will this week be his week? You see Joy shots up towards the top ground, and he gets Prestovant with the drop down in the alley-oop afterward.
Yep, and here it is. Joy has now found himself 2 layers up and over these opponents here. You have to be very careful. He's looking to see if he can just disconnect this entire build, maybe get some fall damage.
Needs to look up though. There was a rift that went off. This is not completely uncontested, and boom, there it is. He realizes there's the 3 players in the sky, wants to hold this high ground, so he's going to push over towards this other player, and he gets it away from him, except gets the high ground ripped away from him, and Joy immediately looks up and places the trap down.
Yeah, he did manage to pull that off. What is going on here? Click's still in the game. Baldy's still in the game as well. Click's pops the big old rift. He's getting this nice rotation. He sees the mountain up ahead. This is going to work out perfect for him as Joy is probably running low on mats. A lot of builds coming out of him, except going up. And Click just lands on the ramp, doesn't even care. No respect for Joy at all. Puts the double ramp off right there.
Just absolutely took it away from him. Clicks in the top right, Joy in the bottom right. That's the fight that's happening on the high ground. You have two separate 1v1s. Clicks versus Joy, except versus phase attacks. It attacks, runs him over. Absolutely